mais lido, publicado e traduzido autor do século XIX, Júlio Verne, nasceu em 1828, na cidade francesa de Nantes. Encaminhado a Paris para estudar direito, Verne logo desiste da ideia e passa a tentar outras atividades. Transitou inclusive pela Bolsa como corretor de valores. Frequentador assíduo da Biblioteca Nacional, apaixona-se pela leitura de novas descobertas científicas que possibilitavam novidades desconhecidas. Ao mesmo tempo, vai sempre à residência de Jacques Arago, um explorador que se tornara cego. Aí conhece inúmeros viajantes e geógrafos que lhe abrem a imaginação para países distantes e desconhecidos. Em 1863, entregou a Hetzel os manuscritos de 5 Semanas num Balão, que inicia sua nova fase de escritor. Entusiasmado com o que tinha em mãos, o editor o contrata imediatamente por 20 anos, obrigando o autor a lhe entregar 2 obras por ano. Hetzel não se enganara. O sucesso de 5 Semanas num Balão foi estrondoso e o romance traduzido para todos os idiomas da Europa. Durante os 40 anos seguintes, Júlio Verne iria publicar uma vastíssima obra que é considerada a matriz principal da ficção científica do século XX. Não podemos deixar de citar os títulos de alguns de seus inumeráveis sucessos, como O Deserto de Gelo, Viagem ao Centro da Terra, 20.000 Léguas Submarinas, A Volta ao Mundo em 80 Dias, Miguel Strogoff, A Ilha Misteriosa, Roburo, Conquistador e Viagens Extraordinárias. Em Amiens, cidade a qual acabou sendo prefeito, Verne vem a falecer com 77 anos em 1905. Com sólida fortuna, fama invejável e obra difundida nos 4 cantos do mundo. Um marco na história da literatura universal. Cineastas que o digam.
He gazed into the future and saw wonders never imagined, incredible journeys and amazing machines. Melding science and art, he created a radical new form of storytelling that had never been seen before. Science fiction. More than a century before our time, Jules Verne foresaw the world we live in and how it one day might end. A century ago, in a remote region of Siberia, hundreds of square miles of forest were devastated by the largest meteor to strike the Earth in modern times. That impact is known as the Tunguska event.
If Tunguska had hit on a major city, it would have been one of the outstanding events in history that everyone in the world would know about. As it was, it hit in the wilderness, and it's pretty much the specialized knowledge of scientists.
But one man had already foreseen the danger of events like Tunguska. A best-selling author of science fiction, who that very same year published a story warning of the terrible threat of meteors. But because the truth about Tunguska remained a mystery until the 1960s, critics dismissed the book as sheer fantasy. They were wrong.
It's certainly easy to imagine the impact of a mile-wide asteroid that could end in the death of 1 billion people and perhaps even destabilize civilization. We've never seen it happen, but it's a distinct reality. That's something that we only as scientists have realized in the last 10 or 20 years. At some level, Jules Verne realized it a century ago.
In the history of the written word, few have had a more ambitious imagination than Jules Verne. He invented not only a new genre, but whole new worlds of exploration and adventure. The father of science fiction, he foresaw the very world we live in, and the worlds that might yet be. The Arthur C. Clarke of his day, he wrote books by the dozens, and sold them by the millions. His secret, to imagine the unimaginable.
I would not be surprised to see him in print in 200 years. And he was one of the first guys to talk seriously about aeronautics, about submarines, about space flight. So by that fact alone, he's a very advanced figure, a mighty figure.
Verne predicted the glittering machines of the space age, a dazzling feat for a man born in the grimy age of steam.
I think the magic ingredient that made Jules Verne a novelist people read in every nation and translated into every language was the sheer delight he took in technology. He was the guy who took all those nuts and bolts of what was going on at the height of the Industrial Revolution and turned it into romantic magic, and that appealed to people all over the world.
He really changed the tenor of the times. He made the unthinkable thinkable. He made the invisible visible.
Verne sent vehicles not yet invented into worlds not yet explored. His fictional heroes led mankind into whole new realms of discovery. With more than 200 movies bearing his name, Verne is the most adapted author in the history of film. A writer whose stories are endlessly retold. In an incredible 65 books, Verne attempted to depict not only life tomorrow, but the entire story of human existence.
The ultimate goal of his work was to describe the whole world, by which he didn't mean only the planet, but humanity in its entirety, human destiny in its entirety.
Transporting readers into every world imaginable, Verne reached back in time to the lost civilization of Atlantis, and forward tens of thousands of years to the mysterious civilizations of the distant future. Nearly a century after Verne's death, the world again learned just how incredibly far-sighted he was. In 1989, Verne's great-grandson found a family safe and made an explosive discovery.
Although I saw the safe was empty, I was still a little suspicious and wanted to make sure. So the manufacturers dynamited it, and the top flew off, and at the bottom lay many papers, including the manuscript, Paris in the 20th century.
The book was finally published in 1994, 131 years after it was written. Its uncanny depiction of modern Paris explains why Verne had to shelve it.
My jaw dropped when I read it. I think, in fact, it would have had an effect on contemporary Parisians almost as shattering as actually going to the 1960s, which most people from the 1860s would not have survived. I mean, it's just too much, you know? The future shock is just too intense.
In Verne's novel, Paris is powered by the mysterious demon of electricity, a strange new force in his time. Dominated by vast financial houses, the Paris of the future is geared to one thing: making money. Day after day, an army of workers toils with a battery of unheard-of technological devices: calculators, faxes, and copying machines. While such amazing inventions as elevators and automatic walkways would have stunned Verne's readers, they crushed the spirit of the book's hero, an impoverished young writer out of place in a world run by machines.
One of the things he got absolutely right was the hero and his alienation from the world. I mean, we've got the fascinating situation of a young man looking around a society dominated by technology and feeling utterly alienated from it.
While Verne's Paris bustles with horseless carriages and electromagnetic trains, his penniless hero walks everywhere on foot, a lone rebel who refuses to fit in.
This is a work which is set a full 100 years in the future, makes that leap, is comfortable with that leap, works it out in some detail. It's uncannily close to what Paris really was like in the 1960s.
Verne envisioned not only the city's future history, but its greatest landmark, yards from where he described a towering lighthouse, stands the very symbol of Paris, the Eiffel Tower, built 30 years later.
He probably knew where the empty lots were in Paris, where if you were going to build something big, it would have to be.
Yet even Verne's foresight wasn't infallible.
Just to counter this notion of him as someone with an uncannily prescient view of the future, in his highly technical Paris of 1960, people don't even write with pens with a steel nib. They still write with quills. The idea of a typewriter never occurred to him.